The early morning sun, a gentle breeze, and the vast expanse of water stretching out before you. This is Lake Ontario, a freshwater giant teeming with life and opportunity. For those who hear the call of the open water, there are few places more enticing. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a weekend enthusiast, Lake Ontario offers a fishing experience unlike any other. Imagine the tug on your line, the fight of a lifetime. Picture reeling in a trophy fish as the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. This is the magic that awaits on Lake Ontario. But this lake is more than just a pretty picture. It's a dynamic ecosystem, home to a diverse range of fish species. It's a place where history and nature intertwine, where stories are told through the generations of anglers who've cast their lines into its depths. So, join us as we delve into the world of fishing on Lake Ontario, exploring its hidden gems, sharing tips and techniques, and celebrating the thrill of the catch. Let's embark on this adventure together. Lake Ontario is the easternmost and smallest of the 5 Great Lakes, but don't let its size fool you. It boasts an impressive surface area of over 7,300 square miles and plunges to depths of over 800 feet. This vastness creates a unique environment, influencing weather patterns and supporting a rich diversity of life. The lake's southern shoreline is dominated by the bustling cities of Toronto and Rochester, while the northern shores offer a more rugged and pristine landscape. The lake is dotted with islands, each with its own unique character and fishing opportunities. From the Niagara River in the west to the St. Lawrence River in the east, Lake Ontario is fed by a network of tributaries, rivers and streams. These inflows create a complex system of currents and temperature zones impacting fish behavior and distribution. Understanding the lake's geography is key to successful fishing. Different species prefer different depths, temperatures and bottom structures. Whether you're targeting salmon in the deep, cold waters or bass in the shallow, weedy bays, knowing where to find them is half the battle. Lake Ontario is a haven for anglers thanks to its diverse fish population. From the hard-fighting salmonids to the elusive walleye, there's a species to test the skills of every angler. King salmon, coho salmon, and steelhead trout are prized catches, known for their acrobatic leaps and powerful runs. Bass, walleye, muskellunge, and northern pike are abundant, offering thrilling battles for anglers seeking a different challenge. Yellow perch, crappie, and bluegill provide plenty of action for those looking for a relaxing day on the water, especially for families. The lake's fish species exhibit distinct seasonal patterns, influenced by water temperature, spawning cycles, and food availability. Understanding these patterns is crucial for targeting specific species throughout the year. Lake Ontario's vastness can be intimidating, but knowing where to drop your line makes all the difference. Here are a few hotspots renowned for their productive fishing. The Niagara River, this powerful river connecting Lake Erie to Lake Ontario, is a prime location for salmon and trout, particularly during their fall spawning runs. The urban waterfront of Toronto might seem unlikely, but it offers surprisingly good fishing for salmon, trout, and bass, especially around breakwalls and harbor structures. Located on the North Shore, the Bay of Quinte is famous for its walleye and bass fishing, with shallow, weedy areas holding plenty of these prized game fish. Situated on the eastern end of the lake, Mexico Bay is known for its excellent smallmouth bass fishing, with rocky shorelines and abundant cover. Numerous tributaries, including the Genesee River and Oswego River, offer fantastic fishing for trout and salmon, particularly during their spawning migrations. Section 5. Mastering the art techniques for Lake Ontario. Successful fishing on Lake Ontario requires adapting your techniques to the target species and prevailing conditions. Here are some proven methods. Trolling, a highly effective technique for covering water and targeting salmon and trout. Trolling involves dragging lures or bait behind a moving boat at various depths. Casting. Casting lures or bait from shore or a boat is a versatile method for targeting a variety of species, especially in shallower waters and around structures. Jigging. Using a jig, a weighted lure with a single hook, is a popular technique for walleye, bass, and lake trout, particularly in deeper water or around drop-offs. Fly fishing. Fly fishing enthusiasts can target salmon, trout, and bass in the tributaries and nearshore areas, using specialized flies that mimic local insects and bait fish. Section 6. Gearing up, essentials for a successful trip. Heading out onto Lake Ontario requires the right gear to handle the elements and the fish. Here's a checklist. Rods and reels. Choose rods and reels appropriate for the target species and fishing techniques with medium-heavy to heavy-duty setups common for salmon and trout. Line and tackle braided line is preferred for its sensitivity and strength, while fluorocarbon leaders provide near invisibility in the water. Lures, baits, hooks, and sinkers should be selected based on the target species and fishing conditions. Safety equipment, life jackets, flares, a first aid kit, and a working VHF radio are essential safety items for any fishing trip on Lake Ontario. Navigation and fish finding. A GPS unit and a fish finder are invaluable tools for navigating the lake, locating fish holding structures, and monitoring water depth and temperature. Weather gear. Lake Ontario's weather can be unpredictable, so be prepared with rain gear, warm clothing, sunscreen, and a hat, regardless of the season. Section 7. Respecting the water conservation and ethics. Preserving the health of Lake Ontario ensures its enjoyment for future generations. Follow these responsible fishing practices. Catch and release. Consider practicing catch and release, especially for larger fish, to help maintain healthy fish populations. Handle fish gently and release them quickly to increase their chances of survival. Proper fish handling. Use a landing net to minimize stress on fish during landing. Wet your hands before handling fish to protect their slime coating, which acts as a barrier against infections. Barbless hooks. Using barbless hooks makes releasing fish easier and less damaging, reducing injury and mortality rates. Respect fishing regulations. Familiarize yourself with and adhere to all fishing regulations, including size limits, catch limits, and seasonal closures, to ensure the sustainability of fish populations. Leave no trace. Pack out all trash, fishing line, and gear, leaving the shoreline and water cleaner than you found them. Beyond the real activities around the lake. While fishing is the main attraction, Lake Ontario offers a plethora of activities for everyone to enjoy. Boating and water sports. From leisurely cruises to exhilarating water skiing, Lake Ontario provides ample opportunities for boating enthusiasts and water sports lovers. Hiking and biking. Explore the scenic trails and parks that dot the lake's shoreline, offering breathtaking views and a chance to connect with nature. Historical sites. Discover the rich history of the region by visiting historical landmarks, lighthouses, and museums that tell the stories of Lake Ontario's past. Wine trails. Indulge in the flavors of the region by embarking on a wine trail, sampling local vintages from vineyards nestled along the lake's shores. Culinary delights. Savor the fresh, local cuisine, from farm-to-table restaurants to waterfront seafood shacks offering a taste of Lake Ontario's bounty. Planning your excursion seasons and regulations. Planning your fishing trip to Lake Ontario requires considering the seasons and regulations. Spring. As the ice melts, anglers target trout and salmon in the tributaries and near-shore waters. Walleye fishing heats up in the bays. Summer warm water species like bass, walleye, and pike become more active, while salmon and trout move to deeper, cooler waters. Fall salmon and trout make their spawning runs up the tributaries, creating excellent fishing opportunities. Winter ice fishing for perch, walleye, and northern pike becomes popular in certain areas. Regulations. Obtain a valid fishing license and familiarize yourself with all fishing regulations, including size limits, catch limits, and seasonal closures. Regulations can vary depending on species and location. Casting a legacy. Passing on the love for fishing. Fishing on Lake Ontario is more than just a pastime. It's a tradition passed down through generations. Introducing children to the joys of fishing creates lasting memories and fosters an appreciation for the natural world. Start small. Begin with simple techniques and target species that are eager to bite, ensuring a positive and rewarding experience for young anglers. Patience is key. Fishing requires patience, a valuable life lesson for children. Encourage observation, focus, and perseverance. Make it fun. Keep the mood light and enjoyable, focusing on the experience rather than the catch. Celebrate every bite and every fish landed. Share the knowledge. Teach children about fish identification, conservation practices, and the importance of respecting the environment. Create memories. The shared experience of fishing creates lasting bonds and cherished memories that will stay with children long after the trip is over. Until next time, farewell from Lake Ontario. As the sun sets on another day on Lake Ontario, we're reminded of the beauty and bounty of this incredible body of water. From the thrill of the catch to the tranquility of the surroundings, Lake Ontario offers an escape from the ordinary. Whether you're seeking adventure, relaxation, or a connection with nature, Lake Ontario delivers. So pack your gear, grab your fishing buddies, and head out to experience the magic of this angler's paradise. Remember to fish responsibly, respect the environment, and cherish the memories you create. Until next time, tight lines and happy fishing.